How does it feel playing fast? How about finger picking, playing chords? If a guitar feels like crap to play, all of the best pickups in the world aren't going to make it any better. You can usually add a better pickup to improve the tone later on, but if the neck plays like crap, it's going to be that much harder to pull off a flawless performance. Some guitarists like Yngwie prefer a scalloped neck, which has a type of scoop between each fret creating a U shape. Shredders prefer this style because your fingers don't come in contact with the fretboard, only the strings. I can't really give a recommendation about whether or not to scallop, but it's not particularly common for most guitars, and a traditional fretboard is probably your best bet. There are 3 types of wood found in the majority of guitar necks. Rosewood is the cheapest and most used wood in cheaper guitars, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's an inferior wood or worse neck. Rosewood is usually a dark brown, reddish brown, or almost black. The tones from rosewood tend to be darker and rounder, whereas maple tends to be a bit brighter with more attack, and is more common in blues and clean playing because of the snappiness of the wood. Maple also tends to show more wear as the guitar gets older and is played more, but rosewood is more porous, so your skin's oils tend to seep in more. Ebony is the 3rd kind of wood, which is found in really high-end guitars such as Flying V's and Gibsons. It's a black wood which is rather expensive and much more difficult for luthiers to work, and as such, they have a very strong and crisp tone with a lot of attack. Every year or 2, you're going to want to give your guitar a tune-up. If you're buying a new high-end guitar, I recommend getting this done immediately after buying it, which is otherwise known as a setup. This includes several things. First of all, whoever is doing the setup is going to remove all of the strings and clean the gunk off the fretboard and polish it. Next, they're going to dust off the electronics and fix any loose wires with your pickups, as well as bring the pickups up or down as they need to be sitting relative to the strings. You can also ask that they intonate your guitar and, if needed, adjust your action. Action is how high or low the strings sit on your fretboard. Lower action is better for shredding, but is prone to certain frets buzzing when played, and when bending other notes, certain frets can die out during a bend, otherwise known as fretting out. On the other end of the spectrum, if you have really high action, this can make the guitar much harder to play, and almost puts a handicap on playing. You want to try and find a balance where the strings are almost on the fretboard, but also don't buzz or fret out. Intonation involves making sure that your guitar is in tune with itself. You can play all the strings open and have everything perfectly tuned, and then when you go to play a chord like a G chord, you'll find